to get this out of the way first, I just want to say that it is a 50-50 possibility that I will not be recording tomorrow because tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in America, so I might not be recording tomorrow. It really depends on how things go and when people start arriving at my house for the holiday. If I do not record tomorrow, then we may spend Friday catching up on the news and bringing everything together. So we will see what happens tomorrow. The other possibility is just putting up the news videos late and doing it like that. But I just wanted to get that out of the way first. And now we recap NXT with Dominik Dijakovic and Scripps officially debuting or returning to NXT. Dominik Dijakovic is now called Dijak. And it seems like Dijak has unfinished business in the title picture going against Wes Lee in the North American title picture at this point. And Scripps is going to start slow, but the best way to put it is Scripps isn't exactly who we expected, but I'm happy for the person that is Scripps because it gives them the opportunity to reinvent themselves after the dissolution of the 24/7 title. So that is good. But speaking of the NXT championships and the NXT title picture, matches for NXT Deadline have been made with it being officially announced that the Iron Survivor Challenge matches will be made official next week on NXT by on-screen authority figure Shawn Michaels. And this way we will know who will participate in the first Iron Survivor Challenge. But the NXT World title match is set for NXT Deadline as Apollo Crews will get his title opportunity against Braun Breaker. Apollo has been returned to NXT a few months ago and basically has, to a point, played the role of a veteran since then. And I mean, it's been a well put together run thus far for Apollo Crews. I would not say it's on par with Finn Balor, but he's doing more in NXT than he was on the main roster, so it's a good shout that he's on NXT now. Is the easiest way to put it. And the other match is the Creed brothers versus Sangha and Veer, who just returned as a tag team a few weeks ago after a few weeks of build-up for them going in that general direction of them being a tag team again. Sangha has hit some hard times since his partnership with Apollo Crews went away. And Veer has hit a bit of hard time since Triple H took over as the top executive. Because, beforehand, it was that much like Austin Theory having a push under Vince McMahon, much like Theory having a push under Vince McMahon, Veer was getting pushed under Vince, but once Triple H took over as head of creative, that all changed. I am very much looking forward to. I just want to say that I am very much looking forward to the Iron Survivor Challenge because it gives us the opportunity to see a new match and to really see what Triple H and Shawn Michaels may have planned for NXT, but also a look ahead to Dynamite, as this is the first edition of Dynamite with MJF as AEW World's Champion. So that will be interesting. It is also the aftermath of William Regal turning on the BCC. I mentioned this in a previous news video that if it was me, I would let if it was me, I would let the BCC have the week off because, in my opinion, let it simmer for a week. You know, in my opinion, the BCC should not know after a week how they're going to react to their mentor, in some cases, turning on them. Because that's just not how it is. You know, you're not gonna know how to react right out of the gate to your mentor turning on you. You're gonna need some time to let it simmer. And I'd rather hear from Regal and Regal and MJF tonight, and save BCC for next week. You know, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara are going to have their back and forth. I'm just hoping that this doesn't lead to Sammy winning the Ring of Honor World title, because Sammy doesn't deserve the Ring of Honor World title. Unless, again, somebody that is going to be in Ring of Honor once they become their own brand again is the person that deserves the Ring of Honor title. That's it. Nobody else. You know, if you want the Ring of Honor title, then you got to be on the brand when the television show is established as its own thing, whenever that might be. It doesn't matter. That's what your role should be. That even if you're a contracted AEW employee, that once the brand is established on its own, you jump off AEW when you move to Ring of Honor. You know, that's just how it is. Because you're the world champion of the brand, it's like saying the AEW world champion would be a Ring of Honor contracted employee and somebody that could move on. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see Jericho versus Sammy and maybe Sammy try and branch out on his own. I'm just saying that as far as Sammy winning, there's a better choice for other people. Unless you want to move Sammy off of AEW to allow it to be in front of a different fan base and to be spotlighted differently. That's one thing. But if it's just, you know, whatever the case is, that in my opinion, you need to think about that before you think about who's going to beat Jericho for the title. Also, you're going to see the ending or the up. We're going to get an update on where the TNT title goes from here, where the interim women's championship goes from here. We're going to get a lot of updates on Dynamite tonight. You would figure, as this is the first edition of Dynamite after Full Gear, where the aftermath of Full Gear, whatever is planned and whatever is in the works, you do have to figure that all that is going to be aside and all that is going to have a pin put in it. The moving forward is going to be slowed by the fact that tonight is the fallout from Full Gear, but also we have the one thing that somehow slipped my mind is the World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals between Ricky Starks and Ethan Page, as MJF's first contender for the World Championship will be named. The Elite are back, and this is the first edition of Dynamite with the Elite back. Tomohiro Ishii versus Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy and Jake Hager for the All Atlantic title, and the beginning of the Best of 7 series, or the second match in the Best of 7 series between Death Triangle and the Elite. I am surprised that Death Triangle and the Elite will be that the first match was actually at Full Gear, but also it is a part of the official preview that William Regal is going to be featured on tonight's program. But I think that the more accurate thing is you either have Regal do a sit down interview or you have Regal there with MJF and the BCC have nothing to do with Regal tonight and you save that for next week because the fact of the matter is any question of who MJF's first opponent will be answered tonight as the winner of the World Title Eliminator Tournament will get the first taste of MJF at Winter is Coming on December the 14th. But these have been my thoughts on wrestling and also a preview for AEW Dynamite tonight. Let me know your thoughts on Dynamite tonight and everything else mentioned in the comment section below. And do not forget that if you like this type of content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel because any and all likes, any and all interaction with the video is very much appreciated and does help us reach more people. But before you go, do not forget to ding dong that notification bell next to the subscription box because that is the only way you can get notified when I post a new video. And until next time, I will see you again soon.